A warm welcome back to Six Ashes for episode 28 with me, MrSealyp. It's just gone 1 PM, day 6, late spring. I was checking over the economy page, looking at finances for selling the wool, looking at our pig situation. The pigs are the highest value around now, and then again in the winter. I did think about selling some pigs now, but not. I mean, a lot of them aren't at a weight they need to be sold yet. So I'm going to wait, and I'm going to fatten them up right the way through. And then what we'll do is winter, day 3 and 4, where it peaks again. It doesn't go as high, but it peaks. That's when we're going to be selling pigs. As far as the limousines go, we're going to be buying those. Like I said, we're going to get those tomorrow. So the price will come down a little bit more. Hopefully, they'll be a little bit cheaper again. We'll get those tomorrow. If we go up a little bit further, we go to, where's our wool? There. Kind of, yeah, second highest-ish price, maybe third, is today. So I'm going to sell what wool I've got now, and then I will probably, just trying to think of what the jobs I need to. Oh, there's the other thing I was going to say as well. Very strange. Oh, you watch, it's going to be on there now. If we go down the contracts, I've got a load more fertilising contracts have popped up. Bearing in mind where we're sitting at, late spring, just about to go into summer, I haven't had one single sewing contract. Not one. Which again is weird, because we go back into this, into this menu, and we look at our planting window. The only thing that we'll still be able to plant once we go over into summer is going to be soybean and corn. I've had no sowing contracts for wheat, barley, oats, canola, potatoes, sugar beet, nothing. Not a single sowing contract. Which is weird. That's what the reason why I did all those cultivating jobs. I thought that'll free up some fertilising jobs, which it did, which in turn will then lead to some sowing contracts, which will then the knock-on effect will then be, hopefully, we get the harvest contracts pop up this year. Nothing. Not a sowing contract in sight. So, yeah, don't know. Bit of a weird one, though. Now, I'm going to put this out there now. Myself and MrSealyp are going away. Well, I say going away. We are getting away for a week from tomorrow. So we're going Wednesday to Wednesday. We are both still working. We have some things that we need to take care of. I'm not going to go into any details. I'm not going to. But there are some things we need to do. I have kind of alluded to over the last. Well, it's been kind of year, 18 months. Things have been happening with regard to family, and like I say, I don't want to go into lots of detail, but there's some things we need to take care of, and it's not great, it's not pleasant, it's just things we've got to do. But we are still, oh, that was handed, I appeared right by the door. But we are both still going to be taking our computers away and all our stuff, because we both still got to work, so there's stuff we need to do. But just to let you know that we may be in that situation, as we often are when we go away, that Wi-Fi may not be great, time elements might be tricky. So as far as videos go, I'm going to try my absolute best to keep up with my Let's Plays. I'm going to try as best I can for mods and mod reviews. They may not post until the following mornings after the mods have. Normally I try and get them up in the evenings. That was the other thing I wanted to talk about, was while I'm doing this. After my run-in with YouTube recently, that some of you may be aware of, some of you may not, where apparently I used profanity on one of my videos. which I didn't, and people have been through and checked it, and I've double checked it, and I absolutely did not. The problem I've got now is, whereas before I would post a video, it would render my end, then it would be sent to YouTube, it would process at YouTube's end, you put your, the ads go on, and it posts. Great. What's happening now is, since that incident, YouTube are now putting my videos on pending while they check every single video to make sure it's okay, it's suitable for ads and those kind of things. Which means now a process that used to take, and it used to take a while, don't get me wrong, it would take, by the time it had rendered my end and then it had been sent from me with my Wi-Fi connection is great as far as I'm aware, no problems at all, but it would take a while to process, then it would be ready to go. So some of you may have noticed that my Let's Play videos aren't now posted until mid-afternoon, and mod reviews aren't posted until late evening, whereas it used to be kind of easily by lunchtime, and normally by kind of early evening videos would be up. Now, not the case. It's taken, for mod review, well, for all my videos, about 3 hours for the render, processing and ads pending whilst they're being checked. About 3 hours to post a video now, which is just, it's untenable. I don't know, it is what it is. I can't do anything about it. I was led to believe that after the incident, that they would do ads pending for a couple of weeks just to check and make sure that you're not swearing constantly on your videos and that kind of thing. Once they realise after a little while that the algorithms responsible will go, no, you know what, actually this guy's alright again, don't worry about it. But nope, still doing it, and it's driving me to distraction. But anyway, so the point being that while I'm away, couple into that the fact that my upload speed will be a lot slower as well. Videos will be coming, they will be posted, it's just, it may be a little bit hit and miss as to when. Now I know the majority of you will be absolutely fantastic about it, and will be, very much post if you can, don't worry about it, and I really do appreciate that from everybody whenever I post things and say stuff about, family comes first and that kind of thing, and that's great and it's wonderful, and I do appreciate that. But there are people that, I get it, people look forward to my videos and I totally understand. Right, answer me a question. Why did all the other ones I just did were fine, this one's decided, you know what, nah, I'm gonna decide to overload your case. That's weird. Why is that not? Very strange. Yeah, that people do wait for my videos, and I understand that. I'm the same with certain YouTubers that I like to watch, and I'll go on and I'll check every single day to see if a video's been uploaded. And you do get that thing of when there's not a video, like, oh, I don't know what to do now. I have to find something else to watch. I get that, and I apologise to anyone who kind of not sets their clock by my videos, because let's be honest, my videos, I've never had a schedule, and that's the other thing I've spoken about before and in the past. I know a lot of YouTubers will post their weekly schedule to say what they're doing when, and especially if they're streaming as well. And I've always said, because of the nature of when I record and how I record, and because of how busy my household is, often I can't put a schedule up, because that can be detrimental in that it gives me no flexibility with life and with the household and with the things I'm doing, that if I can't post a video at the moment, that's not the end of the world if I don't post a video. If I've got a schedule that's set in stone, I know I can post and say, look, I'm sorry I can't post today, but that kind of, it gives you no wiggle room. I know for some people, they love to have a schedule, and subscribers like it because they know on certain days they're getting certain things. I've just never done that. I've never been able to do that, So like I say, some days I'll wake up at 4 in the morning and get up and start recording. Other days I won't. Other days I've got jobs to do and chores to do and stuff to do around the house, and I might not start recording until 10 o'clock in the morning. There'll be days where I do channel admin, and believe me when I say, and this is the other thing I want to talk about as well, I haven't been onto the comments in 2 days now. Because of going away with my wife for a couple of days, there's been a lot of admin related type things we've had to been organising, and I haven't been onto my comments in probably 2 or 3 days. So apologies if you've had no response. I honestly, I do apologise. I do read every single one. I don't always comment on every single one, but I do read them all. I just haven't for the couple of days been able to get on there to read everything, and I will get onto that. But believe it or not, if I go 2 or 3 days or a couple of days without reading my comments, I have hundreds of comments, hundreds of them, on YouTube videos, on Facebook, or on Twitter, and that can, believe it or not, that can take, when I'm doing it, an hour and a half easily to go through and read all the comments. And people will argue, well, they don't read them all. But that, I pride myself on that. I always have done. You know, that interaction with subscribers, I know not everyone agrees with that, and people don't like it, and people don't like the interaction they have with me. Fine, that's up to, you know, I can't, again, I'm in that situation, I can't please everyone, can I? But I do try, and it does take a long time, and all I'm trying to say is just please bear with me. Be patient. You know, I'm doing the best I can. I know that's not going to appease everybody, but it is what it is. I'm only human. Despite the beard, I'm not a superhero of any description. My superhero, not, I don't know, do superheroes have beards? I'm trying to think of one that does. Aquaman, maybe? Or I'm trying to think. Well, obviously the newer version, I don't think the actual original Aquaman did. I'm not going to get all these on, am I? I thought I would. So anyway, I know I've been kind of waffling a little bit. I wanted to explain, you know, I have had a few kind of, disgruntled is the wrong word, but I've had a few people that haven't been happy about things lately, and I apologise if you're upset or offended by that. But I do have a family, I do have commitments, and it may be you have felt that this has been going on for a while, or that you know the channel is suffering as a result. And if it is, I can only apologise. But there's things I have to deal with, you know. As Celia G would say, it is what it is. Well, not her, I think that's from a TikTok or something, isn't it? Or something along those lines. She hopefully will be making a return of some description. We're hoping to do a Christmas special of some description as well. That's the plan. Oh yeah, while I'm doing that, huge thank you to Mark. You know who you are, Mark. And for your generosity and kindness of spirit, and in the current climate and things that have been going on, and your own personal situation. Again, you know, personal situations are, you know, they're a real thing. What you didn't have to do what you did, and thank you so much for doing it, because, you know, I honestly hope it hasn't left you in any kind of, you know, I don't want to think of people leaving themselves short to be generous and to be, you know, kind, you know, and you know what I mean. But thank you, Mark, massive thank you from both of us. It's very kind of you. I thought this trailer would easily be big enough, but we've done alright with our wool, haven't we? I'm not sure that's going to reach, is it? Oh, they might do. Oh no, maybe not. No. Am I going to get over that? No, I'm not. Okay, right. Well, that has to go with the next load then. I've got the telehandler, I suppose. Yeah. Well, we've got the first load done. It's good for shunting around the yard and stuff, but I've just realised how long I've been going for. So one thing I will say with the PlayStation 5, the way to record is a little bit different. Well, or it has given the option to, and I don't know how au fait people are with. I do all my recording on PlayStation 4 and now obviously on PlayStation 5. With PlayStation 4 it was a constant record system, like a HD thing, and you could set the timer so that what would happen is, there we go. So if I set it on 60 minutes, you know, all I would do is kind of record or play, and then if I hit record it would roll back that amount of time, so that would go from I think 30 seconds all up to 60 minutes. So it would roll back those 60 minutes. Now I think there probably was a function that you could set it in advance, but that was the way it always kind of worked, up to a 60-minute record time, and I would either record in chunks or in whatever. On the PlayStation 5 you've now got the ability to record like you do pretty much when you do on PC and stuff like that, that you start the recording and then you stop the recording. So as I'm recording at the moment, you won't be able to see it on the screen, but I want it the side one, don't I? As I'm recording, in the middle of the screen, right at the very top, I've got a timer which is telling me how long I've been recording for, which I never used to have. So I would always have a timer running next to me, which would be counting down, so I knew how long I've been recording for, which is very, very handy, especially when you're doing map tours and mod reviews. Because the other thing as well with PS4, I think with YouTube, I don't know if it's PS4 or just PlayStation generally, you could only upload a maximum of a 60-minute clip. Now, I haven't tried to go beyond that with PS5. I've still stuck to 60 minutes. So if I was doing a map tour that on a particularly complicated or big map, or a mod review that had loads and loads of mods, and you got close to that 60-minute mark, it got to a point then you'd have to try and be very kind of clever with the editing to still be able to upload that video. There you go, that's better. Whereas this, it's because the timer's running at the top of the screen, I can see just how long I've been recording for, and that really does make life a lot easier. But it also then makes me think I have been waffling a lot. Well, not waffling, I haven't been waffling, I've been talking a lot. You will be the person that decides whether it's waffling, because whether what I'm talking about is interesting to you or not will just depend on whether you think it's waffle or not. So, I know what I mean. And then what we'll do is get this delivered, and then I will see you, what time is it now, 2:30? Yeah, so probably tomorrow, and I'll get all the animals fed and watered and cleaned out and all the things I've been doing. Well, that's the thing I did, I got the broom. I'm not a fan of the broom. I'm just going to jump through the hedge. I've never been a fan of this since it came out, only because if you put it at a certain angle you kind of fly, it takes you up in the air. But I'll be honest, for cleaning things like troughs around chickens, or any troughs really, there are two of these, but I found they were the wrong way round. One's supposed to be for cleaning the map, so for kind of, you know, tidying up, and one's supposed to be for feed areas. So I bought the one for feed areas and it didn't work. It did work at clearing snow very well, oddly enough. So when I bought the other one, that worked perfectly for feed. I don't know, but it works brilliantly. You know, I kind of steered clear of it because every time I tried to use it, I ended up, you know, like a witch on a broomstick. It was very weird. Anyway, to the spinnery. Field 19 has been re-prepped. I did put some fertiliser down. I think I'm going to have to invest in a muck spreader of my own. They're not cheap, and I don't use them that often. Actually, you know what? I'm probably better off just leasing, as I have been doing. Because of that fact that it's one of those machines I don't use very often, which I suppose is no different to a harvester and stuff like that. You know, harvesters will get used for the harvest season, which depending on how long your harvest season is, could be a couple of months, could be 3, could be shorter, could be longer, depends what you're harvesting. And then it gets cleaned up, tidied up, put away until next harvest. So I suppose, yeah, there's a lot of machinery that is seasonal. Things like tractors, trailers, you know, your day-to-day stuff will be used all year round, but I guess, come on, keep going. Yeah, you can do it. Now it's whether or not this is going to sell automatically, or whether I'm going to have to go and get the telehandler to unload these at the spinnery. Now I'm going to make a load more TMR. Two reasons for that. I have got a load in storage, and I mean a load in storage. I have got that same situation that when I bought CJ Farms, I got some chicken feed already. There is cow feed, there is hay, there is straw in there already. So when I get my cows, I do already have some stuff in there that kind of came with the farm. If you've been watching right from the very start of the series, you'll know why and what I mean. But I'm going to make a load more because I've got the stuff to do it. Plus I need to free up bale space for this year for my hay, because I want to get as much hay as I can. Again, for then moving forward for making so much ration, because if my long-term plan is to buy the other dairy farm and have 2 farms, one for beef, one for, well, cow farms, one for beef, one for dairy, I'm going to need hundreds of thousands of litres of total mix ration. So prepping it now and getting as much as I can now just makes sense. So that's where I'm going to be heading with that. First turning, not second. Do you ever have that when you're going somewhere and there might be a journey or a route you do regularly, I mean like a lot, that becomes almost muscle memory. Then you go somewhere else and find yourself doing the wrong part of the journey. I've done that so many times. I'll head off somewhere and my wife will say, "Where are you going?" Like, what do you mean? Well, this isn't when you think, oh no, you just get into that habit of driving. Oh, maybe it's just me. Potentially. Oh, that's not a very big unload area. I did it a lot when I was a postman, and it was one of those weird things. Again, just muscle memory. You got into the habit of doing something. And I remember doing it one morning, as coupled with the fact that when I was a postman, I was up at sort of 3:30, 4 in the morning. You get to the sorting office, do what you have to do, then you get ready and go out and you're delivering, and you would be tired and whatever. But you would get so used to doing the same delivery, if you were on the same delivery all the time, that I would be halfway down a street and then stop and think, I don't remember delivering post to the first part of this street. And then you panic and think, did I put letters through the right doors? Did I, but you were just doing it because you did it every day, because it was what you did. I'm assuming then these are not just going to sell off of here. Oh, come on, seriously? So I've got to come and actually unload all of these into the sell point. I could do something really dodgy now that I don't really want to do. I'll probably have to go and get the telehandler. If you find yourself in a situation like this and you're having a problem, especially when the store is located just here, what you could do is, in an emergency, I'm just saying, it's not the done thing, and I know the cheap police will get very angry. You could reset your trailer if you wanted to, then the pallets will just drop. It's not something I'm going to advocate. I'm not going to say I'm not going to do it myself, but yeah, could. Right, let's go and get a telehandler. It's day one of early summer. Longer days, warmer weather, picnics in the park, that kind of thing. Also, the other thing I meant to say as well, happy 1st of December. If you've got calendars, don't forget to open them. I'm very lucky this year. All of my kids and my family have got the chocolate calendars. Great. My wife got me a Brewdog calendar from the craft brewer. Well, there's debate about the craft brewery thing now because of the. But anyway, big brewing company in the UK, or getting bigger. 24 can calendar, so I get a craft ale every day. That's brilliant. It's such a cool advent calendar. Anyway, so yeah, happy 1st of December. May you have loads of great things out of your calendars this year. If you have one. Right, we are up at the store. I need two. What do I need to do? Livestock trailer. Because we're going to go and get our limousines. Limousin, depends how you say it. It's limousine. It's always been limousines how I was referred to it, but I think we're going to use the one I like to use normally. We could go for a larger one, but that's going to be hard to get in and out of lanes and things. This will hold how many cows? 6. I'm going to need to do a few runs, but that's not a problem. How many does that hold? 6 as well. Yeah, I might as well just go with that one. The one I usually use. Don't need to change the brand or anything. Lease it for 765. Excellent. So, limousine, beef breed. I mentioned that I'd been taking some advice from the British Limousine Cattle Society, the BLCS. I think it actually exists. That's not made up. That sort of thing I kind of thought, oh, let's make something up. And I've been doing a bit of research, looking in on their website and doing all sorts of stuff, just to find out about the limousine breed, generally speaking. And they reckon, looking online, the limousine breed could potentially be as old as Europe is itself. Cave paintings found in the Lascaux caves near Montignac in France show paintings of cattle which bear a striking resemblance to limousine. What happened there? Striking resemblance to limousine. Why is this not turning all of a sudden? There we go. Yeah, which is amazing. And they reckon the cave paintings are 20,000 years old, which is absolutely mad. But it then goes on to talk about the fact that these golden red cattle, which they are, originated. Why am I coming that way? It's because I'm reading and talking and at the same time. From the central and southwest region of France, rainy, harsh weather conditions, granite soil ground, not great conditions for crops and anything like that. Because the region's not particularly great for agriculture and that kind of thing, the breed's renowned for being a sturdy breed, can deal with all sorts of things, conditions and whatnot. But yeah, because the limited resources in the region, they remained relatively isolated. So as a breed, there's not much cross-genetic. They're a fairly pure genetic breed, which is pretty cool. Let's put the ramp down. They were introduced into the UK in 1971. They didn't come to the UK until 1971. And 179, I think it said on the website, purebred bulls and heifers arrived in Leith Docks in Edinburgh, which is where they first came into the UK. Limousine, there we go. They're all males, they're beef. I can only do 6, can't I? So I'm going to do 6 at a time. Confirm. I'm going to buy quite a few of these. We're going to fatten them up. We're going to sell them on. Obviously, we can't breed the limousines. They are a beef stocking game. But it also says, because they're excellent qualities, easy carving, hardiness, they produce well marbled meat with a low proportion of fat. So much so that between 1971 and 1986, in just 15 years, turn the corner, they took the #1 spot in the UK nationally as being the #1 beef breed, knocking Herefords, I think it was Herefords, into second place. Which is, in just 15 years, they were that good and that, well, not easy to look after, because I suppose any animal's easy to look after. And then it goes on to say that in 1998, figures released by the British Cattle Movement Service, a lot of this I didn't even know existed, but I wouldn't do. I don't do cattle. They became the largest numerical beef breed of 1.8 million cattle that are registered pretty much yearly by the British Cattle Movement Society. 32% of those 1.8 million are limousines. 600,000 new limousine are registered yearly. They are sired yearly, representing an average revenue of about 500 million per year for limousine breeds, which is incredible. And 2019 represented the 48th year of not only limousines being in the UK, but of the British Limousine Cattle Society too. So a good reason to have them here on a UK farm, a good beef breed. Like I say, I haven't done beef cattle before. In-game normally, on a normal farm when I'm regularly running it, it's all dairy, you get milk anyway. I think when I was working Sussex farms, I think we did Holsteins. Generally speaking, that's what I go for. I do Holsteins. You do milk production because you get your manure, you get the milk, you've got the animals there as well. The concept of having just a beef breed that you're just fattening up, I suppose I'm doing the same with the pigs, aren't I? You're not getting a byproduct. At least with the Holsteins, you're getting milk, and then you can sell the cows on afterwards. Whereas doing it this way, there's no milk, and there's always that thing in your mind thinking, but what, you know, I need to make good money on these because I'm not going to get any milk money. Milk money may sound like go off to school. Can I have my milk money, mum? Right, let's close that. Look, grass is growing again. So after our first cut, it's growing again, which does bring me on to a bit of a concern that I have got. 6 ashes is that kind of happy and concerning with all the strange occurrences that happen here on the farm. Let's open the gate. Yeah, before we put them in, let's have a look on the map. My field 41, my test plot, is ready to harvest. Look, ready to harvest already. We're just into summer. So that late winter crop was great because it means I'm getting a harvest out of now. I wish I'd have done more before, because here's my concern. My field 51 and field 16 are both just saying planted. They haven't moved to growing. Now, bearing in mind, yesterday I cut my grass. That's already showing that it's growing again. My field over here that I ploughed, where are we, 65, that I ploughed and then put grass seed down, that's now growing. There's actually shoots coming up through the ground. Field 51, and look, I've got germination failed there and there. No germination failed on there, but still not saying growing, which is a concern, because if I want to harvest these in autumn, they've got to go through all the growth cycles. 4 growth cycles. I hope that's going to work. Otherwise we could... Hang on. Oh, field 21, 22 ready to harvest as well. Let's have a look on our contracts. Do we have any harvesting contracts available? Loads of the baling ones have dropped off. Oh, we had all those baling contracts have all disappeared. Few fertilising, still nothing for sowing, and no harvest contracts. But we can quite clearly see up here that field 10 and field 9 are ready to harvest. And how have we already got spots in the field that are withered? That's not even ready to harvest yet. And that's got brown spots of withered crop. I don't understand. Yeah, field 1. I fertilised that. So I know there are contracts available on it because I fertilised field 1. And nothing. Don't get it. So now I've got a lot of work to do because I need to harvest both of those. Harvest that one. That's going to get me a load of straw, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm wondering, you know, whether or not to pelletize it. Is it worth me doing pellets? Actually, no, it's not, because I'm better off just doing it as normal straw than just putting it into my mixer and getting it turned into pellets, which is what seems to be happening. I know, again, it's not the done thing. I should be pelletizing it. Yeah, this doesn't like it. I think it's the actual... It reaches the maximum turn for the hitch and then doesn't like it anymore, so... You'd think with all-wheel steer it would be a little bit better, but... Right. Let's get those up. Ramp down. It's funny how the connotations of words change massively, don't they? I remember when I worked at the school, I know my kids talk about it now as well, going about how, and I suppose maybe it's common vernacular these days, people going about having beef with someone else. I'd never heard it until when I worked in the school, and the kids going, oh, you'd have kids in the playground, beef, beef, beef. Like, what? It's like when you used to have a crowd of kids go, fight, fight, fight. You know, there'd be a punch up in the playground. Kids now, oh, they've got beef. What? What do you mean they've got beef? No, with each other. So, okay. Nice. Our first 6. Beef stock. Not beef stock as in like gravy, but you know. Let's go and get some more. I don't know how many I'm going to get. I want to get quite a few. We're going to have quite an investment. We've got plenty of total mix ration on hand, and I can make a load more. So it just makes sense to get a few. Just trying to think how many. Don't know. I'll do a few. Bear in mind I'm only doing 6 at a time. I just think, had I tried to get an articulated lorry, and again, this is where that, on a lot of maps, it's like, you know, you just go for the biggest thing you can, or you go for the biggest thing all the time because it's quicker, it's easier. But it's nice, again, being on a map or an area where there are some restrictions that you have to think a little bit more about what machinery and equipment you're going to use, simply because, you know, maybe I could get an articulated lorry down there, maybe I could get one in there. It would be a bit of a struggle, it would be tight. It's just easier to do it. Let's just go backwards and forwards. Not far from where we usually stay in the Lake District. I know we stay at Graysondale Farm, which is directly opposite a dairy farm. Just down near Cockermouth, there's an auctioneer's livestock auction market, and we drive past it almost on a daily basis when we're up there. And I always drive up and have a look because there's also Cars Billington farm, kind of, not farm shop is the wrong word, not like as in farm produce, but supplies farms with equipment and machinery and anything you need to run a farm really. And there's also like a woodyard kind of thing there as well. Everything a growing farmer needs. And most of the vehicles that are backwards and forwards on livestock days, on auction days, are tractors and trailers of this size, pickups and trailers. You know, you don't often see big articulated lorries in and out. My voice is going, that's great. Anyway, I'm going to do a few runs backwards and forwards, and then I'll get a bit more total mixed ration made, I think. I'm not quite sure how many I'm going to end up with. We shall see. And then I'm going to have to probably turn my attention later on today in getting some harvesting done. But I've just realised what did I do with it before? It came with 2 headers, and the regular harvesting header is still up at the little barn where I got the harvester from. I never went to collect it. Right, swing out this time. That's better. So I need to go and get that header. I've got the money, I suppose, this year. I could either invest in a second harvester or get a slightly larger one, maybe. I'll get these first harvests done with the John Deere. I was hoping I'd get more harvest contracts to come up, you know. I was hoping I'd get a load of sowing contracts. I can't understand why I didn't get a single sowing contract. Limousines. Last 2, doing in batches of 6. I decided to go with 50. Of course I didn't. I could have stopped at 48, I suppose, but in my head I thought 50. So did all my 6s. These are the last 2 to make up to 50. They're already making a mess. Let's state that. Like I said, we have got some TMR. Everything else, unfortunately, is sadly lacking. You have to speak to someone in the pub. I have to get the man out to do the plumbing another water pump for us. Just wonder if I can do it myself, but I've got the skills. Do I have the skills to pay the bills? That's the thing. I don't know if I have. That should be, if I've done this correctly, should be 50. So what I'm hoping for, we've got more rain coming. Wonderful. That's just what we need. So let's close that for a second. And let's check our... Yep, 50. Brilliant. We're spot on. Pigs are up to 146. Chickens, obviously, there are 100. They've maxed out. Sheep are at 53. They've stopped producing wool. I've got one pallet left. As you saw when I unloaded the wool pallet, I did have a full one that I brought up with me with the telehandler. So I've got one there that isn't quite full, and they've now stopped producing. So that's our spring over and done with. That's our wool production done. We'll carry on with them. So yeah, looking back at this, we definitely need water. Straw. It says straw pellets or straw. Salt mix ration's fine. Grass is okay. Hay, so I don't need all of those. That's fine. So it's water and straw that's the problem at the moment. They're already producing. Now that says milk. Why is that saying milk? Oh, that might be from when I did my, the previous testing. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do this as another kind of visual test. Why are the clouds going by so quickly? I know we're at ×5, but that seems to be, that's going by scarily fast. Anyway, yeah, so what we're going to do is the same thing. It's saying straw pellets. It says we need some. So what I'm going to do, I went and got some straw out of my hayloft. I'm going to put 7,900 litres in here, which should give me 7,900 litres of pellets. If you've got the add-on straw harvest, like I said, there are some strange anomalies occurring at the moment. Yes, I put that in. That's not giving me straw, that's giving me straw pellets, which should then, in theory, when I put them in as pellets for bedding, it should then say, it will either remove it as an option, I won't need any more, or I don't know what the ore is, but probably should have got the smaller tractor, shouldn't I? That'll need to go back. Like I say, that'll be water pump. I'll need to just clean them out, and then we'll I am going to make more salt mix ration. I don't want there to be that kind of feeling, and I've tried to make sure I've done that the whole way through, that even though I've bought these farms that have had feed already in them, in inverted commas, I have still I've made the effort to actually make the stuff as well. I've gone to the effort of making sure I've got loads of salt mix ration. One, it was because I was going to use it to sell, but also for this reason, that at this point I now have a load. So whilst, even though there is some already in the trough, I do have some to use. Now I don't know if this is left or right at the moment. Shouldn't make a difference. Why am I getting nothing coming up? That's a concern. I should have a trigger coming up now. That cannot only take it from a straw blower, surely not. Oh, just needs to be tip side left, it wasn't taking it from that side. So, let's turn that back off. Is that all it took to fill that up? Let's check the menu. Now it's saying it's full, but the straw pellets thing is still there, whereas with the pig one, it just disappeared. So potentially that may disappear, it may vanish off there. I don't really know. Well, it's in anyway, we've got straw, that's the main thing. So I will sort the water situation out. We'll get the guy in the water trough just there, which means placing a water pump should be absolutely fine. We'll come in through the gate here or come through the main yard, it doesn't really matter. I need to put these straw pellets somewhere. It's a lot of straw pellets, isn't it? So I've just piled up somewhere. I suppose I could sell them. Maybe. This really does not like it, does it? Doesn't like turning with these. Where can I put this massive pile of straw? Strange enough, my barn is actually filling up really rapidly. Don't really want to put a massive pile of these in the middle, but I do need the trailer for Top Mix ration. Just did way too many. I thought it would. I don't know what I thought actually. I thought it would need way more than it took. Probably should have dumped them just in the field. Cows could have nibbled on them. Maybe I'll do that. I'm just going to stick them in the field for the time being. I can always come and collect them with a scoop and put them somewhere. But I need to empty this out. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Mowers are there. That's where I ended up leaving them. I'm just going to put it here if it will let me. It'll be one bucket load. I can just come and collect it. Right. Let's go through the hedge. They do actually have a water source, which is kind of weird that there's a water trough, but there's also a little pond. Sure they would drink out the pond, would they? Well, I don't know. Don't want to cause any problems. Any more problems than I usually do. Okay. Right, let's close that. Excellent. Yeah, like I say, the bucket I bought them in, I'll just pick them up. I'll find somewhere to put them at some point. So, I need to just muck them out. I can do that very quickly with the bucket I've got. Let's stop that there. Hop out. I suppose I could have just emptied directly into the bucket. Would it let me do that? I don't think I've ever tried that. If I'd have just sat with the bucket right next to it when it unloaded, I could have maybe just... Oh, these guys are producing manure. I already emptied it out once. There was only a little bit in it, but... Right, put that in there. Drop that for a minute. Now I've got to remember what my mix was when I was doing Top Mix ration before, because this holds 45,000 litres. I was doing 5 and 5, but then I was putting one extra in. I think it was one extra silage I was putting in. Again, can't actually remember. This is the bale spike from the add-on straw harvest. It is the, as I just hooked up to it, it's the Lizard V-Grab. And I like this a lot because it allows you to grab. There are the ones that you can do that for the telehandler as well that aren't vertical. It's a V-Grab being vertical. There are the horizontal ones as well, which I think are absolutely brilliant. I used those on Greenwich Valley, I think I did, if I recall correctly. Just think after the Vandals came, this will just mean it can clear up a little bit, tidy some of the bales up. Like I say, just by mixing and load more up as well. Even if I put this into storage, it frees up bale space. So whatever I decide to do moving forward with regard to bales, because I've got a lot of silage bales on hand. It's another reason why in the last episode I wanted to do loose silage in the bunker silo, just because of how much I have got bales wise. Actually, that should have, there we go, that's better. Right, I think this is probably where I'm going to leave you. Here we go, here comes the rain again. Wondrous. Great for the crops. Maybe it will help my 2 fields to start to grow. I hope so. Something's got to start working. Hang on, I need one of these, don't I? Let's grab 1. 5 of these. Let's grab 1. There we go. Yeah, maybe it'll help. I don't know. Fingers crossed, you never know. I'm sure the cows will love it. So now we have beef. We've got beef. Not with anyone in particular, but we have got beef. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with these. I'll have to check as well, because I didn't really pay much attention to what they were costing. I knew I had enough money to buy them. So now it's going to be a case of I need to get them fat enough to make a profit on each one. I don't know what kind of profit I'm going to make, but hopefully a tidy amount. That's what I'm kind of hoping for. Let's get that up. Try and tidy up a little bit. There we go. So I should be able to get away with 6 of these. Anyway, yes. So continually moving forwards, which is where we need to be. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're still enjoying it. If you are, if you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. As always, thanks for watching.